The first memory challenge we have is to memorize the 48 Laws of Power. Now, the 48 Laws of Power is a book by Robert Greene. And so he talks about how there are these 48 universal laws of power. So if you follow these laws, you would gain power. If you abuse them, you're going to end up losing power. And what I love most about this book is that Robert Greene provides supporting historical examples for each of the laws. So the very first law, never outshine the master. So he talks about how King Louis the 14th, 15th, one of those King Louis, how he has this right-hand man. And this right-hand man threw this extravagant party. Everyone loved it. Everyone was talking about it. The next day, that right-hand man died. That's because King Louis the whatever killed him because he took the attention off him. His right-hand man took all the attention from the king. That is absolutely crazy. But that's what I love about this book, giving all these historical examples. So you should definitely read this book. But for the memory challenge, all you have to do is memorize all 48 laws. So on my forum, I have all the 48 laws in simple form. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Now, ideally, you learn these laws and hopefully you could use these laws if you think they're true, you know. Are they true? I don't know, but it's very, very interesting to memorize these laws, have them in your mind, and then actually start seeing them in your everyday lives. Like, whoa, this person's using this law to gain power. Or why is this person doing that? Maybe it's because he's following XYZ law. So that's what's absolutely cool. But the main benefit of this memory challenge is that you're gonna gain experience changing abstract ideas into images. Now, when you memorize a grocery list, so we have this grocery list, what do you have? You literally have a list of items. These items already have images to them. So if you're getting eggs, your image is gonna be eggs. You got chicken, your image is gonna be chicken. Milk, maybe it's like a bottle of milk or it's a cow. And so these images or these items in a grocery list are already given to you. They're concrete. So that's not really hard to memorize because you don't have to think of anything. You're pretty much given something. Even something like a recipe, which is a little bit more complicated, right? A little bit abstract, but you still have the same thing, right? Step one, get a bowl, put 3 eggs in. That's very concrete. You can see that. What's hard is having information that's abstract. Never outshine the master. The very first law. Okay, there's not an image that absolutely represents that, right? It's not like a crown or a throne that represents that. And so you have to start thinking, okay, I have this abstract idea. It might be a couple words, might be a sentence or two. How do you change that into an image that when you see that image later on, you're able to get back the original law? Because let's say, for whatever reason, never outshine the master, you think of a chicken. And I don't know why, but maybe you just do. And so later you're like, okay, let me start recalling the laws or review them. All right, I have this chicken. Now, what in the world does that mean? What does the chicken represent? And so it's not that easy. You might have to create multiple images. You might have to have like a little scene act out in your mind that represents the actual law. So this is what you're gaining from this memory challenge. How to change abstract images or abstract information into images. Because most information you're going to learn out there are words, are ideas, right? Very, very few are numbers or symbols. And so that's why you want to be great at changing abstract ideas into images. And so this is going to be a great place to start. And one thing you have to keep in mind is that whatever you come up with, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. So that example about never outshining the master is represented by a chicken. It might not make any sense to me. I'm like, how in the world do you get a chicken to represent that idea, that law? But for you, if that makes sense, that for whatever reason, that is what comes to mind when you think of never outshine the master is a chicken, then you go with that. So that is super important to keep in mind. Even though something might not make sense to anyone else, doesn't mean that it's not good or you shouldn't be using it. Use what works for you. And you got 48 laws, and so you're getting really, really good in this challenge on changing abstract ideas into images. And so there you go. You have the challenge now. And next time, I'm going to show you how I memorize the 48 laws of power. If you're new to memory techniques, don't forget to sign up for your free memory program. You're going to get a solid foundation in using memory techniques. The link is in the description. Also, if you want to start pushing your memory to a whole new level, create a free account at blitzmemory.com and start training your memory. And maybe we'll even compete against each other. See you next time.